For 60 years, Ernest Borgnine remained silent about the co-star who turned his life into a nightmare. Now, the shocking truth is finally exposed. Violent outbursts, sabotaged scenes, and the infamous coffee-throwing incident that left someone with second-degree burns. But the most explosive revelation wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. Born Ernest Borgnine in 1917 in Hamden, Connecticut, Borgnine's early years were filled with upheaval. His parents separated when he was just 2, prompting his mother to take him to Italy, where he spent 5 years immersed in a new language and culture. When the family reunited in 1923 and returned to the U.S., his father changed their last name from Borgnine to Borgnine in an effort to assimilate. Growing up in New Haven, Connecticut, young Borgnine had no aspirations of becoming an actor. Instead, he was drawn to sports and had no involvement in drama or theater. After high school, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy in 1935, serving aboard the USS Lamberton for 6 years. Though he was discharged in 1941, the attack on Pearl Harbor pulled him back into service. He re-enlisted, this time aboard the USS Sylph, where he served throughout World War II. The military instilled in him a deep sense of discipline and camaraderie, qualities that would later define both his personal life and his on-screen presence. After nearly a decade in the Navy, Borgnine considered making it his career. But fate had other plans. His mother, in an offhand remark, suggested that his forceful personality would be perfect for acting. That casual comment changed the course of his life. With no experience or industry connections, he enrolled in the Randall School of Drama, then joined Virginia's Barter Theater, where actors were sometimes paid in food instead of money. He took on every job imaginable: acting, painting sets, even scrubbing toilets, honing his craft from the ground up. His first big break came with Tennessee Williams' The Glass Menagerie. Though he doubted his performance, the audience's reaction proved otherwise. By 1949, he had landed a role on Broadway in Harvey, sharing the stage with Hollywood legend James Stewart. However, casting directors struggled with his look. Too rough for comedy, too comical for drama. Determined to succeed, Borgnine carefully observed Stewart, taking notes and studying his craft. Television soon came calling. In 1951, he landed his first role in Captain Video and His Video Rangers, a low-budget sci-fi show that nonetheless got him noticed. Columbia Pictures soon followed, offering him a small role in The Whistle at Eaton Falls. Then came the role that changed everything: Sergeant Fatso Judson in From Here to Eternity, 1953. His sadistic, brutal performance shocked audience, particularly in the harrowing scene where he beats Frank Sinatra's character to death. Despite being known off-screen for his warmth and kindness, Borgnine had just shattered expectation. He wasn't just another face in Hollywood. He was a force to be reckoned with. As soon as filming began, all doubts about his casting vanished. He fully immersed himself in the role, isolating himself for days to get into character. When the cameras rolled, he transformed completely. His performance was so chilling that Frank Sinatra refused to speak to him off-camera for weeks. Even the crew kept their distance. The impact of the role lingered long after filming wrapped. Borgnine suffered nightmares for months, haunted by the intensity of the character. Audiences had an even stronger reaction. Some were so disturbed that they sent him death threats, unable to separate the actor from his on-screen persona. The emotional toll was heavy, but the film had cemented his place in Hollywood. 2 years later, he shocked the industry once again, this time in an entirely different role. As the kind-hearted butcher in Marty, Borgnine proved he was more than just a menacing tough guy. The film, made on a shoestring budget of just $343,000, became an unexpected sensation. At the 1955 Academy Awards, Borgnine took home the Oscar for Best Actor, beating out Hollywood giants like James Dean and Spencer Tracy. He credited his mother for encouraging him to pursue acting, but he almost didn't land the role. Director Delbert Mann had originally wanted Rod Steiger, but a chance encounter at a Hollywood party earned Borgnine a screen test, and ultimately, the role that changed his life. Refusing to be typecast, Borgnine continued to surprise audiences. At 50, he played General Worden in The Dirty Dozen, 1967, performing his own stunts and impressing younger co-stars like Lee Marvin and Charles Bronson. In The Wild Bunch, 1969, he delivered one of the most haunting performances of his career, grinning maniacally as he gunned down dozens of men. That chilling moment would stay with him for years. Television brought him a new wave of success. As the laid-back Lieutenant Commander McHale in McHale's Navy, Borgnine showed a comedic side that was a stark contrast to his usual tough guy roles. His real-life Navy experience added an authentic touch to his performance, making the character even more believable. But behind the laughter, danger still lurked on set. A pyrotechnic accident left him with burns on his face and hands, forcing production to halt for 3 weeks. Still, his dedication never wavered, and his performance earned him an Emmy nomination. Borgnine's journey was one of resilience, transformation, and unexpected triumphs. He was a man who defied the odds, continuously proving that talent, hard work, and sheer determination could turn even the most unlikely candidate into a Hollywood legend. A classified 1965 U.S. Navy memo revealed something unexpected. McHale's Navy had a surprising impact beyond entertainment. Real naval strategists studied the show's problem-solving tactic, leading to Operation McHale, a series of military training exercises still shrouded in secrecy. Borgnine's television success didn't stop there. At 67, he joined the cast of Airwolf, 1984, still performing his own stunts despite his age. In 1985, he narrowly escaped death in a terrifying helicopter crash, a moment that reinforced his reputation as Hollywood's toughest actor. A new generation met him as the beloved Mermaid Man in SpongeBob SquarePants. It was his grandson who convinced him to take the role, and in 1998, he landed it by reading lines off a napkin during his audition. Over 13 years, he voiced the character in 17 episodes, bringing joy to millions. In a bittersweet twist, he recorded his final session just 2 weeks before his passing in 2012 at the age of 95. Ironically, Borgnine had once dismissed television, believing film was the superior medium, but a single encounter changed his perspective forever. After meeting a sick child who found comfort in his movies, he realized something profound. Television could reach people in ways film never could. Borgnine's personal life was as eventful as his career. Over 95 years, he married 5 times. Some unions ended in heartbreak, others in scandal. His first wife, Rhoda Kemmons, stood by him before fame. They married in 1949, had a daughter, and weathered Hollywood's pressures for nearly a decade before divorcing in 1958. Then came the whirlwind. In 1964, he wed Broadway star Ethel Merman. It lasted 32 days. Their honeymoon in Japan was a disaster. Fans mobbed Borgnine wherever they went, leaving Merman furious. In Tokyo, after yet another heated argument, she flung her wedding ring into a koi pond. Less than 5 weeks after saying, "I do," she filed for divorce. Years later, in her 1978 autobiography, Merman included a chapter on their marriage. It was completely blank. Borgnine later admitted, "That blank page hurt more than anything she could have written." After that fiasco, he found love again, at least for a while. In 1965, he married Donna Rancourt, with whom he had 3 children, Sharon, Christopher, and Diana. The marriage lasted longer than his previous ones, but by 1972, it too ended in divorce. Then, finally, he met her. In 1972, Borgnine attended a Las Vegas party where he crossed paths with Norwegian businesswoman Tove Tresnes. She knew his reputation and hesitated at first, but his charm won her over. A year later, they married. For the first time, Borgnine found real stability. Tove wasn't just his wife. She was his partner in every way. As she built a successful beauty empire, Borgnine became her biggest supporter. He even joked that he was the oldest living Avon lady in the world after appearing in her ads. Their love endured for nearly 40 years, longer than all his previous marriages combined. In his final years, he often credited Tova for keeping him going. In his last interview, just weeks before his passing, he said, "I think it's because of the love I have for Tova." On July 8, 2012, at 95, Ernest Borgnine passed away with Tova by his side, his search for lasting love finally complete. Borgnine's toughest battles weren't just on screen. Shelley Winters and Spencer Tracy pushed him to his limits. Winters, a perfectionist, demanded script changes and endured a brutal 14-hour underwater scene with 65 takes. Despite their clashes, her performance earned an Oscar nod. Borgnine later admitted, "She was difficult, but she was right." Tracy, a Hollywood legend, kept co-stars off balance. In one scene, he threw in a surprise line. Borgnine froze. Their intense fight scene took 14 takes. By the 7th, Borgnine accidentally landed a real punch. Tracy just shrugged it off. One line haunted Borgnine, "You're not only wrong, you're wrong at the top of your voice." It felt personal, yet Tracy respected him, so much so that he later recommended Borgnine for Marty, 1955, the role that won him an Oscar. Borgnine's journey wasn't easy, but he stayed true to himself, tough, talented, and unforgettable.